Okay guys, I wasn't going to put a video up today. I'm working on another video that's pretty elaborate, but this is pretty important, so I'm going to get this up pretty quick before the market's open. So look, this is probably the most accurate chart I've ever created. I'm going to cover this in just a bit. I do believe this is the pattern we're in. This was the chart. I was referencing a lot of charts in the previous video. Take note right here, we topped out at this point. We found support right here. This was a video I put out on January 11th. This is what I was talking about. We potentially topped out at 41,280. We did get topped out here. I said your next support was around 31,300. Take note right here. I'll put a link to this video at the end of this video. The link for this video will be pinned in the first comment and in the description. But take note right here, 31,300. If you notice right here, this is where we found support right here, 31,300. We did wick below it, guys. Again, I wait till we come back up, find support for confirmation. If you rode this up, guys, this was a 28% profit. Again, I always say reference different charts. You'll notice this chart here. This ring right here, it was resistance, flip support, resistance, support, support, and then we broke down. Notice I add these trend lines. I keep you updated on Twitter daily, pretty much hourly. But notice, we broke above this point. This is resistance, resistance, support. I said when we push above it, wait for confirmation to come back down, test the support. This would point to buy in. But notice we pushed up, resistance, resistance, support, resistance, support. So these two charts helps you nail not only the bottom, but the top. So again, I'm going to give you some price targets. So on this chart alone, look, your current resistance above is 38,183. You push above that, your next resistance is 39,629. If you drop below that, your next support is going to be 34,284 on this chart. So again, this ring right here has been a lot of resistance, a lot of support. Again, you can see right here, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support, broke above it. So if we come back down, this is your next support level to catch a bounce. This will be around 34,588. Again, guys, all of these charts you can access on my website, opcorpcrypto.com. The link will be pinned in the first comment and description. I have Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metal stocks, and tutorials teaching you my method how to create these charts. But just Bitcoins, altcoins, precious metals alone, access to my Discord, and to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is private. It's just $39 a month. And again, as I mentioned on Twitter, so you can see here, I was trying to show people how I trade on the 5-minute. I was saying, look, as long as we're holding support on this yellow trend line, you're going to continue to move up. The ultimate target is up here. I said, once you break support, find it as resistance, you can retrace back down. That's right here. As long as we're above, continue up. Once you break, we'll retrace back down. Notice I reference right here. Always reference different charts. This was showing strong resistance, 36,534. Notice we already broke support. We tested resistance, came back down. You can see this next post. I was saying this was our resistance. Notice I added this red trend line here that was also a resistance. So I was saying, look, if this is resistance, once we break the support level here, we'll probably come back down. This will be your support for a great entry. And you can see how this played out. This was resistance. We broke the support. This was your entry point here. Notice we got protected perfectly at this yellow trend line. It was support, turn resistance, resistance again. Take note this red trend line. You can see this is exactly how it played out. You got resistance, and then it came down as support, and then you can see right here, this flipped as resistance, and then this ended up being support. We pushed back up to this point as resistance and went higher. So again, I keep you guys updated. And this is where I made a post about this pattern that we were in. We can cover this chart as well. And I did cover this on the community section on YouTube. Look, guys, videos take a while to put up. I try to keep you updated when I can. If you are subscribed, make sure you tick the notification bell and click all. That way, if I make a community post or do a live stream, you'll be notified when I upload. But again, I'm saying, look, pay attention. If we get above this point, it's bullish. Otherwise, we're in this pattern. So again, this gives you, your next major support level to watch to catch a bounce, 34,588. And again, these are your targets currently. Your current resistance, 38,183. Your current support, 34,284. So this chart here, guys, so I think we are headed down to at least test the support. This would be a great buy-in. Again, this can bounce back and forth. If we break it, my next buy-in will be right here to potentially come back up to resistance, take my profit, then potentially come down lower. It is possibly break to the upside. If we do, again, this chart, all of your support and resistance levels are mapped out. So if we bounce back and forth and push to the upside, look, this is your next point to take your profit. If we come down, this is a point to potentially buy in. So I did want to point that out. This is potentially the pattern we're in. And this is the published version of this chart. I published this on December 14th. Let me zoom in a bit to show you this. If you'll notice, right up here, this trend line right here, this green trend line, and this green trend line right here. So if I hit play, and let me zoom in a bit more so you can see this. So right here, this was our resistance, and you see this was resistance flip support. This is our resistance here and our support. So again, you already had a potential, you already knew potentially what pattern we could be in before price even got to it. So I'm just showing you this is a very accurate chart, and you can see we found perfect support on this twice. So if we do break this this structure, this would be a first point to catch a bounce, resistance, support. And if we do push up, this is your target above. Let me see, I'll cover a couple other charts here. So again, this is another chart showing, look, this was a lot of support and resistance. Notice we did push above this, support and resistance, support and resistance. We pushed up, that same fib channel line became support and resistance. We pushed up as resistance, now we're coming down to support. So let me give you some price targets on this chart. Notice right here, this fib channel line, this green one, pull this up. So if you'll notice, this was resistance, we broke above it. It was resistance, resistance, we pushed above it. So look, we're coming down to it now. So this is your next support level. So according to this chart, look, your next resistance above, if we push up, 38,735. Your current support to potentially catch a bounce, 36,919. And your next support below that, 35,827. And then you'll have support down here, 34,533. And we have support all the way down, and we have resistance above. This here is the chart also referenced in the previous video. So look, this is a very important chart, guys. You can see this red ring every time. This goes way back. We pushed up as resistance, 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 resistance. We came down, we tested the 20 week. We pushed back up, it was resistance. This time it flipped as support. This was my buy-in. It dropped, my buy-in, take my profit. This was my next buy-in. We came down and tested the ring. So my point is, we've been respecting this red ring very well, and you can see this 20 week is pushing up to catch up with this ring. So, and also take note, when we came down, we found perfect support right here on this ring. So again, if we do break out of this pattern, a likely point to catch a bounce will be on this ring. But my buy-in, my ultimate buy-in, which is make or break for Bitcoin. Again, in a healthy bull market, we always come down and test the 20 week. I do think by the time we come down, the 20 week catch up with this red ring. So again, my buy-in will be wherever we make contact with this red ring. This might be the lowest point you ever see Bitcoin again, so you do not want to miss this point. Again, if we come down, this is where I buy, and then, you know, ride this up as high as it goes. If we do break this point though, guys, you know, we come back down and test this resistance, I think it's likely we're coming down to much lower targets, and I do have these targets on this chart. But do pay attention to this point. This is where I'm buying in. This here, again, I covered this in that previous video. Look, this was a falling wedge back in the 2nd of January 2017. You know, the price of the dollar was coming down. As soon as it broke up from this falling wedge, you can see when the dollar was coming down, Bitcoin was pushing up. As soon as the dollar broke up, Bitcoin came down. Same thing, guys. We're in a falling wedge with the dollar. Potentially this is going to break to the upside. Bitcoin does the opposite of the dollar. The Bitcoin is a hedge against the dollar, so if the dollar's up, Bitcoin will come down. This chart's also available on the website. And this is just another version. This is the dollar index B. Notice we're pushing up. This is our resistance right now. Potentially get rejected. If we push above this, guys, you know, the dollar's going to continue to push up and get more bullish. I think deflation has started. Remember, the higher the dollar goes, that is bearish for Bitcoin. I did cover this in the previous video. This is 21 minutes in. I was talking about the Dow Jones potentially topped out. Notice this yellow line is a lot of resistance. We're in this rising wedge. It was a fake out to this yellow line. Came back down, fake out, we crashed. Notice we pushed up to this point. This is the actual chart. You can see how this played out. This is right here. This is this rising wedge, fake out, came down, fake out. We had a crash. And you can see right here, guys, like I said previously, I said when we got to this point, I do not say it's getting above this point for the Dow Jones. So I think it's very likely we're coming down, and that is what happened. We got topped out at this point. And if you'll notice this ring here, let me zoom out a bit. Let me get rid of this MACD and RSI. So you can see this white ring here. We pushed above it. Notice we came back down, found perfect support, pushed back up. So I think it's very likely we could come down, test this ring, potentially come down and test this support. Notice this trend line has been a lot of support and resistance. So I do think it is possible we could have quite a correction for the stock market. That's why I follow markets. Remember, if the markets come down, you notice gold is already coming down quite a bit. So if gold's coming down, markets start coming down, they're going to start jumping out of stocks and gold. What are they going to jump into? They're going to jump into the dollar. You got a falling wedge, bullish pattern. If the dollar pushes up, Bitcoin will come down. So do pay attention to that. You can already see the Dow, this is aftermarket trading, it's already down almost 200 points. So expect the Dow to drop quite a bit. And again, markets come down, guys. They're going to jump into the dollar up, Bitcoin down. So again, just want to make sure you have these price targets to pay attention to, but ultimately just understand, I do believe this is the pattern we're in. So, this is potentially your buy-in. If we come up, you don't want to take your profit here. What we're waiting to see is if we break to the upside or the downside. I think it's more likely we break to the downside. We'll have to see how this plays out. Again, guys, you want to access these charts, the website's opticorpcrypto.com. The link will be in the description. Again, all these charts play out live. Just click the link, they load up. And again, if you are subscribed to the charts, make sure you send me an email through the contact page on the website. And I will send you the Discord invite link, as well as accept your Twitter follow request. You can just click contact, email me here. But guys, that's it. Trade safe. Until the next video, I'm out.